What up? This your boy Did with Underground State of Art. Just wanted to talk with you guys a little bit today about the music video I shot not too long ago. You probably just watched the video for by the name of Joe, Jesus Over Everything with my boy, the Oracle. Come take this ride with me right quick. First off, it was a unique video shoot. Or should I say it was my first video shoot. So I had a lot of little nerves messed around with it. I was nervous going into the video shoot. Always wanted to work with Oracle. Been trying to work with this guy for years, and finally the timing matched up. It was perfect. He was able to get something in. And the first video he said he wanted to shoot, well, I couldn't get to that video. That's a video we're gonna be shooting maybe a little bit down the road. I give y'all some insight on it. Working on that one right now. But this was the first video. It was like racking his mind, man. He wanted to shoot this one because of the political climate that was going on, just even some of the discussion that was going back and forth between just even Christians and how it was bringing the divide even in our community, the black community, and just even the church body itself, how certain issues or certain things are put up before Christ, how we will say Jesus is the Lord of our life, but at the same exact time when it comes to issues with ethnicity or just even social injustice, it's funny how those lines will begin to crumble the Christian banner, how all of a sudden now, you know, my brother who I said I love and I laid out my life for, that guy is the guy I want to kill now. Now that guy's the guy I want hit with a rock, or that guy, you know, or that girl, you know, that woman, you know, those type of things just get a little crazy. So we really wanted to be in tune with it. And I remember talking with him. We had some preliminary discussions, talking about some things he wanted to do. And of course, like any creative mind or artist, you know, you take the feedback of whatever somebody give you, you know, whoever you're working with at the time frame, a client or whatever you're doing, and you want to take that vision and enhance it as much as possible. You know, you got the juice. And in that moment, I had to just trust and believe in myself. He told me a couple of things he wants to do. Initially, he wanted to do a kind of like an overlay. So an overlay of the images that you guys see in the beginning of the video with the political images, kind of like from the different rallies, and just showing the different sides of the coin. You got one side of the coin and you got the other side of the coin, just with even different ethnicities in it, kind of like going to war with each other, not loving each other like we should. And I had this cool idea, like maybe, man, we could just shoot it with a projector. And I ended up shooting some test footage for it. I sent it to him. I might show the test footage like right about now. I thought it was okay. I just wanted to, you know, give him the ability to see the vision I was going for. Because in the beginning, when you're working with people, you have to give them an example of what you're trying to accomplish. And at that time frame, me telling him, man, I'm gonna project it over you, man, it could potentially be, you're gonna project the image behind me, you're gonna project the image over me. Like, what do you mean by? So I wanted to send him just this little quick snippet video to show him, hey, this is what I'm trying to go for. In the end, it turned out he loved it. We were going to push that bad boy to go ahead and take care of it. But that was literally the second day. We weren't able to work out our days to shoot that one first. So we shot the entire video, the church scene first. So the scene you see in the beginning of the video, the baptism, the church service. Fortunate enough for me at that time frame, I was out. We was just taking just a quick leave from our church for a period of time while my wife was down. And I was like, man, I wanted to shoot it. She gave me the go ahead. So I went on ahead, went over there, met Pastor Andy. Awesome dude, man. Went there, loved the service, man. In the atmosphere of the church fit the vibe of what we was going for specifically, like all together. You got this melting pot of different ethnicities. A perfect example of what the body of Christ is. It's not this extra nice building on the outside, but it was literally like a group of people with a heart for God, a pastor who, when I saw him, I saw his heart, and like this guy really, really, really want to win souls to Christ, and he was doing it, you know, and I can see the hand of God upon his life. I can see him flowing and moving, and we got to see people turning life over to Christ, man. They were pricked in their hearts, man, and they went forward. And you see that beautiful imagery in the beginning of this guy who's joyous. No, he don't look like the conventional church person, but that don't make a difference, because the church, you know, they don't have a stigma, whatever like that. No, the church is within your heart, like who you are, not necessarily your outward appearance. But I know that by the grace of God, as you continue to walk with him, hey man, he'll change your outside. So just even doing that, man, got there, shot the church scene, loved it. Had an impromptu, okay, we're gonna shoot a music video, y'all. Let's get up. So it was kind of like a little crazy for me, because it's like, man, I've never had to direct. I've had to direct an interview so far, like you guys been seeing it. But it's a whole nother thing when you got to direct a group of people to get them to do something, and direct the artist who, you know, he's an accomplished artist. You know, he's not a guy fresh off the cuff. So, like most times in that, guys want you to you have to be able to control the room, control the environment, control what's going on. Like, okay, lead and direct people where to go at. And it was like, man, I was a little timid. But I eventually warmed up towards the end of it, man, getting as much video coverage as I can. Shot 2 or 3 scenes. We took 2 takes. I didn't get to shoot the take I wanted, because I wanted to shoot a take of just the people and getting their excitement, getting them dancing for the song. That was me as a newbie, no experience, just trying to get the people, you know, trying to get what I had to get, not trying to step on too many toes. But in the end, it all worked out. Edited the whole video, because I didn't just shoot the second verse. I shot the entire video there with everything in it. Came home, started editing that bad boy. Man, sent it to him that night like, hey, bro, it's true. So, man, I was with them from 10:30 that morning, came home about 2, 3 o'clock after talking with Leonard afterwards, the Oracle, and then editing it until 10, 11 o'clock that night. Knocked it out, man. And mixed that in with the other scene that we shot with the projector. It kind of didn't work out exactly how we wanted it to work. The projector was actually blinding him. We didn't have a high point to actually put the projector so the light didn't necessarily clash with his eyes. So that's why when you watch the video, you'll see like he's a little bit off center. There's a lot of images or footage I couldn't get to use just because when the light was casting, he had a lot of dark shadows because he was stepping out of frame of the projector because he didn't want to get blinded by the light. So, man, next time I do a whole lot more pre-planning. It was a great learning experience. Like, realistically, when I look back on this shoot, it was one of the greatest experiences I've ever had. It was scary as a mug because, you know, I'm working with an artist who, he's my brother, man, no matter what. But at the same exact time, hey, you know, he's worked with guys already before that couldn't produce the goods. And, man, I really wanted to put my best foot forward. Loved it. Crazy. First time I'm editing a music video, so I'm trying to make sure I got my cuts right. And there was some scenes to which I was like, man, how do I put these images in? And just, you know, listening to it, got the bright idea to, man, make sure I change the images to the beat. So I was like, man, I didn't want to have it to where, you know, it's messing with his eyes or messing with people's eyes. So I wanted to make sure I had the transitions in, have them to where they're not so quick to where it's throwing people off, while still giving people something to keep them engaged throughout the whole entire video, as well as not take away from the subject matter, because it's a huge song. I hope people see that we were really trying and praying for. I know I definitely was, that the imagery that will be portrayed in the video will match and just be in union with the image of the song that is trying to portray and paint a perfect picture for people, not to just, you know, be conflicted by or have issues with, but for people to listen to, maybe walk away saying, okay, I'll change, or maybe just, you know, I understand what you're trying to say, but I don't agree. No matter what, we got what we needed to get done. And overall, I was extremely satisfied with the video. Looking back at it, I will probably put my hand on it 10, 12 more times, just because that's how we are as directors, man. Anybody who's an artist, whenever I finish something in that moment, it looks great. But the minute, let's say I look at it a day or two later, I'm like, man, I could have did this a little bit better. I wish I'd have tried this on the shot. I would have tried this at the when we were shooting. Like, realistically, after I shot that scene with all the people, I wish I would have went back and did some other things because I didn't have all my equipment like I wanted to. Went to the shoot, grabbed the wrong battery. So I shot the whole video with my G85. Literally got there, had one lens. It was my kit lens. But I also had my Nikon with me with my 50mm on it. Massive issue because my Nikon didn't have the battery I needed. So I wanted to take the close-up shots with him to make sure I get that nice depth of field, really draw in on him in his face. Couldn't even do it. bother me, but we made lemonade with the lemons we had, man, and I'm extremely happy with it. I love it. I got to see the outreach that we got through the Facebook site, just even by posting a video, man. I think it was like 20 to 30,000 people reached with it, man, and got to see the comments. You know, I think out of the whole thing, man, we had hundreds of comments and only one that was kind of negative, you know. But even with that, it was like, man, still bless you, man. It's all good. But overall, loved it. Hopefully I gave you guys a little insight behind it. And keep looking out for these videos to come. Thank y'all for taking this ride with me, man. I appreciate you. This is Dale Scott with Underground State of Art. I'm out.